Some millennial made a joke. They're like, you think you Gen Z kids can make fun of us millennials? Well, our kids and Gen Alpha are going to make fun of you. And then they're like, your kids can't read.
He used to twist people's ankles.
Intentionally, right? You ever saw clips of it?
Yeah, when I watch it, I was like, I'm a
he'd
little
throw it to
upset
them,
that he's on our team.
and he'd be like, he was crazy. I hate Mr. Beast.
Because you're jealous
No.
of his success.
Hello, welcome back to RaBBois. I'm Tzvi, joined here with my brother Yitz. I know you have a bunch of stuff you want to talk about, but I had one thing that I wanted to bring up.
Fine.
Which is that Omegle, the website, shut down.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Did you see my community post?
I saw that it shut down, and I looked into it. It was because there's a lot of bad people on there.
Well, I mean, for starters, I've made many videos on there, many amazing, hilarious videos. Now I can't make any more, although it's probably for the best because, yeah, there's a lot of creepy activity on there. Now all those creepy men and women will not be able to do those creepy things anymore. The guy made, like, when you go on the website now, it shows this entire paragraph. If you copy and pasted it into Microsoft Word, it'd probably be 3 pages long. I could not be bothered reading it, so I took it and I put in ChatGPT and I told it to summarize it for me because I was too lazy to read it. And he pretty much said, I love that I made a website that you could talk freely, but basically illegal stuff is happening, so it has to go bye-bye now.
Wouldn't that open up a market for
another one?
Yeah.
There are already a few that exist. There's
I'm
one called Monkey. There's one called
I heard of that.
Ohm.tv. So the content won't stop, although it'll be slightly different. Every single Omegle YouTuber, there's a lot of them, and Omegle TikToker, a bunch of them.
Oh, they're all done.
They're like, holy, what the frick do I do right now? Like, they're panicking. It's a good thing that I stopped doing that Omegle stuff, because I'd be screwed.
It is good that he shut it down if that's actually happening, but all he did was open up another platform, probably, that another person is going to make money off of it, and the same people are going to go to it. So
no, but Omegle is extremely famous, and
exactly. So if
you've never been on there, maybe you haven't. I've been on there, and yeah, you see lots of stuff that many kids should not see, and there are many kids on there. I saw this funny comment saying, what are we going to do at sleepovers now? Because you go on Omegle with your friends. And then I said, you can speak to one another at the sleepover. Pretty crazy thing. Yeah.
It's more like, it's a shame that they couldn't figure out a way to curb that content. Because it's a shame they couldn't.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean curb that content?
Meaning, for example, the dark web.
Oh.
So whenever they would catch the biggest guys who ran the biggest websites, another one would just pop up, and they actually did a whole sting where they did like 3 websites at the same time. It was a bunch of years ago. So now, it still doesn't stop the illegal activity. They just go somewhere else. So it's almost a shame that the biggest company couldn't handle and stop these people on their website, because it's just going to spread to other websites and it's going to just repeat itself.
No,
but they were in a. I feel like they were in a stage where they were so big that maybe they could have. They were.
Listen, man. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, there's just a lot of yapping going on, and I got the point. I want you to know that your younger brother got the point, and I'm going to say back to that.
It's all about money.
It's not about money. He didn't make any money on it. That's one of the reasons he shut it. There's no ads on that website. There's no ads.
He didn't make any money on it.
It confuses me because there are so many people on it. No, it was mainly like the law enforcement were reaching out to him and like trying to get it taken down, and he had this whole thing going on for years.
Oh, and I didn't realize, because if he was making a ton of money,
no, I don't think so.
And then he could maybe use it to help,
which doesn't make any sense. But it's probably hard to advertise. Also, overall though, it's better because Omegle is so mainstream. It's like an app. I mean, at least dozens of millions of people use it every single day. So the fact that they got rid of that website will most likely keep it from bad stuff happening, because there is like dark web type of stuff happen on Omegle. People, you could type search terms of, like, if you want to speak to someone about TikTok, you could type TikTok and it'll show everybody that typed in TikTok so that you could find each other. Like, I'll get recognized more in that caption versus if you just type happy or something like that. And people would use that to type code words.
Yeah, I figured.
Code words for messed up crap, and that's one of the main reasons that they shut it down. One of the main reasons.
Well, then maybe it's good.
Maybe it's good.
And maybe it'll,
You said you had a thing you wanted to tell me about.
Yeah, are you aware of the Mr. Beast controversy Because it's not a controversy. It's dumb.
What the hell are you talking about?
Really? You don't know?
Mr. Beast non-controversy.
Well, it's a non-controversy. But people the internet like to make it a controversy.
Mr. Beast did a thing where he donated money, and then people said, you shouldn't donate money, and everyone was very upset.
Did you just make that up?
No,
or?
was that the controversy?
Yeah.
Because it's happened 5 different times already. Mr. Beast, he dug wells in Africa.
Yeah.
He dug wells in Africa, and I assume some people got pissed because rich white guy is using Africa for clickbait and gain, technically. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're pretty good at this.
I've been on this crap for years. Because it's happened before on his philanthropy channel or something. People listen, man, at the end of the day, he's giving away free crap. That's it. And no one else is. So you're not allowed to complain because no one else is doing nice things. He doesn't have to be doing any of these things. If he just did regular games or here's a $5 million house, no one would be complaining. But when he does a nice thing, everyone complains. It's stupid. He does good stuff and everyone should be happy.
It was very dumb because first I saw the video. He dug 100 wells in Africa. I'm like, well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
And you know what? Yeah, maybe he is using it for content, but he dug 100 wells in Africa.
It also shows that other people could do it.
Correct.
If all the rich people got together, they could probably do something.
It's pretty crazy, by the way. It's a pretty huge project that he did.
I didn't watch the whole video. I was bored. I mean, it's such a nice thing that Mr. Beast is doing.
But the main criticism that I saw, and everyone likes
that video actually underperformed, by the way.
Really?
He's probably not going to do any charity work anymore because it doesn't get views. I mean, it's so nice of him to give all this money, but his videos where he compares the prices of houses and boats it did 3 times better so far.
I don't get that stuff because it's all like I bought a boat for $1. But it's really just like a boat that's really worth more than $1 that he happened to get for $1.
No, what he does is he says $1 versus $1 billion,
Correct.
or no, 100 versus 1 billion. That's the clickbait.
And the billion is just like gold-covered chocolate bars.
The billion is usually not a billion, and the $1 is never actually $1. They just need an excuse to make it 15 minutes long. And you can watch I promise you, watch every Mr. Beast video where they compare big thing and small thing. This is the formula that they use. He starts with shoving 10 amazing things in your face. I bought this $1 billion thing, and this $500 million thing, and this $1,000,000 thing. But first, we have to start with the dollar thing. And then he spends his whole formula is just making you wait patiently. And by the time the $1 billion thing comes, you're just waiting, and the anticipation is building up that you're like, please, I can't miss this $1 billion boat that I'm never going to be on. That's what he does. It's a psychological thing, and that's why his videos do so well.
But anyways...
Africa. It's very...
I saw the main complaint where I think it's just people trying to get clickbait, in my opinion, because I don't know what you're complaining about.
Uh-huh.
They said, they're diminishing the government in Africa who didn't do this.
They're making them look bad.
Yeah. And B is that you're exploiting these poor people in Africa to get content. And I was just thinking that it doesn't make any sense. And if anything, what they're saying just reflects them. Because I guess their mindset must be, if I had that amount of money and influence, I would never do nice things.
Mm-hmm.
I would just use that money for myself.
Yes.
So therefore, how is it possible that Mr. Beast could do a nice thing for other people? It must be because he's so selfish and he's just trying to...
I don't think that's what it is. I don't think it's him trying to make himself look good. I think it's mainly...
No, it's not. But I think that it comes from the fact that you can't really understand that maybe the government is not going to get everything done, and maybe you do need rich people who have good hearts who's going to do things, and the government not necessarily...
The government doesn't get anything done because...
Red-pilled.
Am I going to get too red-pilled?
I was going to say that community is stronger.
No, it's because the American CIA, but once they have a proper politician, they get rid of them in Africa so that they can keep them low class. Mm-hmm. Great. I'm telling you, no, I saw it.
Yeah.
No, it exists.
My point is that, sometimes you do need charitable people, and if it means that you're going to have a video that you could, even at its worst, could exploit these poor people, they're not upset about it. They have clean drinking water and saving lives, and it's bringing electricity to their communities.
No, he's abusing the poor people.
So it's just
he's abusing the poor people.
I think these people almost replaced higher values with government. That the government will take care of everything. Well,
I didn't see anything about government, by the way.
It was
I just saw.
2 days ago.
I mainly just saw people complaining about how he's just using the low class to to make viral videos.
I think they decided...
That's mainly what it was.
So when people said, well, even if they are there, at least they're getting, wells and
Yes, that was
electricity.
the answer.
So then people were like, well, they're making fun of the government's not really useful.
Oh, so they switched it up again?
I think they added
and now
something.
they're going to keep on adding things. You can't win with these people.
Exactly. It was just ridiculous. And I think, like Jewish people, we have our own communities where the government, we pay taxes, and it's supposed to be used in order to help poor. One part of it is to help poor people who can't afford things. So you pay tax, and the government pays those people in order that they could live, like welfare, food stamps, those types of things. But in the Jewish, so I feel like nowadays a lot of people believe that the only way, so to speak, to give charity is almost to pay taxes, and the government will take care of it. But we believe in the Jewish community that
people think that their charities through taxes.
Not really, but that
that they could get rid of taxes through charity.
It's more that they don't necessarily have to give to charity, because when they pay taxes, the government should take care of it all. I shouldn't need to necessarily help out people in my community who are poor because they should get welfare programs. I pay taxes to that. Mm-hmm. But there happens to be a group of people, especially the Jewish community, who we believe, okay, there's a government, fine, but we also have a responsibility to help our community, and therefore we actually give more than just taxes.
It's a circle economy of money. The rich guy gives to the lesser rich guy who gives to the poor guy. Am I right here, or am I not cooking?
What?
Where there's a circular money economy in Jewish communities.
The rich
where you help out your brethren, etc.
Well, it's actually everyone has to give 10%, even poor people. So everyone's giving to the pot. You have to give it to a charity or to a poor person directly, and therefore everyone's always helping everyone else out. So what even a poor person they say, unless there's like a specific exception where they literally have nothing.
Well, there's a privilege also where because it's such a like tight knit community, like people will hire you or things like that, and they'll help you get a job.
Well, even in other non-Jewish communities, just any other religious community or any other community, if you want to make an effect, it's going to be in that small community. And if people need help, poor people need help, you shouldn't necessarily have to rely on...
Basically, any community can do this, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because it comes to the fact that if you believe in something greater than just yourself, if you believe that your purpose is to help others, then it doesn't matter if the government is doing it or not doing it. You have to go help other people. And if it means digging wells in Africa, then yeah, if you believe in helping the greater good, then you should do it. And who are we to judge and decide that actually it's not good because really somebody else is supposed to be doing it? Let the person do it. They have kindness to give.
So basically you like Mr. Beast.
I think it's amazing what he's doing. And I when I saw his charity, I found it unbelievable because he does have all this money and he does have all this influence and he does have other companies sponsor with him. And if he's able to do that, then and he is just a little just a kid from North Carolina.
Yes.
And he's able to South Carolina.
I have no clue.
And he's able to do this. Then why can't so many other people who have this type of there are people who are probably richer than him who are able to do this too.
I hate Mr. Beast.
Yeah, because you're jealous of his success.
Mr. Beast is taught. He spews out knowledge of how to go viral and things like that, and that's valuable information. But his formula and what he's taught to the masses has completely ruined the landscape of YouTube and social media in general, and that's why everybody has the cause of low attention span and brain-rotting content isn't the reason, but it stems from Mr. Beast. Oh my gosh, I'm controversial right now. I love what he does and love the whole thing, but the effect of what he has done has caused other people to make brain-rotting content, and because he has such a high standard and a bar of the content that he makes, everyone has to keep up so that they could go viral also, and that caused TikToks to have a jump cut every single half of a frame, and now the freaking generation is screwed up, and millennials are raising their kids as iPad kids, freaking iPad babies. Some millennial made a joke. They're like, "You think you Gen Z kids can make fun of us millennials? Well, our kids and Gen Alpha are gonna make fun of you." And then they're like, "Your kids can't read. They can't read, and they don't have any attention to yell about me because you shoved an iPad in their face their entire life." I hate iPad kids.
Well, on the other hand, if these content creators can use their platform to spread good and not just to make money and to do crazy crap, I don't know, eat like 1,000 pizzas or something, then maybe we'd be getting somewhere.
That's what Mr. Beast does.
I know.
That's what he did.
Well, if people would mimic him totally, where they realized it was so brilliant to make a YouTube channel that all the revenue goes to charity. It's pretty brilliant. And if other big content creators do the same thing, it's almost like unlimited money.
Why would we have to do that? Why can't like you tell billionaire people to do it? I don't want to give my money to charity. I'm broke.
No, if you're big enough to have your own channel, to make another channel that you know you can get a few million people
You're
to follow.
you're saying every person should make a philanthropy channel?
Or even billionaires, why don't they do that? Because it's just revenue from ads. It's just a circular economy.
You know why? Because not everyone in the world has the mindset of charity.
Exactly.
That you so just
That's
are
my
speaking
point.
about right now.
Because
no one
that's my
cares.
point. I think people should care.
You know, you're right. They should care, but
I think
they
the
don't
people
care.
that are yelling at Mr. Beast don't necessarily care as much as he does.
So you're saying that they're anti-charity?
I think they just don't understand why somebody would do that because it is so much money.
I'm gonna give all of my money to charity. I'm never gonna save any money ever again. I'm gonna give it all to charity because you just inspired me completely with this entire.
If you believe God exists,
I believe God exists.
then you give all your money to charity, and
all
it'll
my money
be paid back.
God
provides.
Not only does He provide, the money He gives you is meant to be spent for the purpose that He gave it to.
Right.
Your money's not supposed to sit there. I was speaking to our father about it. It's not supposed to sit there for 50 years. Then you have
Looking at it.
Then you have all this money, and then you freaking die, and your stupid kids take it, and then they waste it in 2 months. You're supposed to use it for a divine purpose.
I am curious.
Or something like that.
I am curious how much it costs to actually build those wells. He should put like a cost. I'm very curious.
I have no clue.
Is it like $1 million per well? Is it like so that's $100 million? No,
it's probably not. I feel like it's probably not that expensive.
No, it's probably like 100,000.
You could probably make that from like a boxing match. I was wondering if I should do an influencer boxing.
Oh
match.
yeah, you make like a ton
I was
of money.
thinking about it. Like the prep time and one, like it'd get me serious and dedicated to another thing. Also, it just looks like a fun thing to do.
Dude, you get really hurt.
Yes, but also I want to punch someone.
Okay.
Also, it runs in our family.
Mm-hmm.
They have a distant relative. No, not distant.
Great uncle.
Great uncle.
Great
uncle. His name is Leo. And we would stand for Leonardo. That's funny. And he was like a pro. Not even. I don't know how. Pro.
He was Jewish.
He's Jewish. And he was a pro wrestler. And he wrestled. Did he box also? I don't know. Point is, it runs.
He held
in the
his
family.
girlfriend in one hand.
He was like weirdly strong, even though he didn't look strong.
It didn't come down to us.
Huh?
It didn't.
It did not come down to
skipped.
us. But maybe we never tried boxing. I want to try MMA so that I could protect myself, but I want to try the boxing because it'd be pretty epic to be in a ring and then punch someone and then like do a Fortnite dance and then like what? And then like move on and make some money. The problem is like how does that work religiously? Because one, like the yarmulke, how does that work?
You could wear one. You have clips.
I don't know if they let that in the thing though.
There's religious boxers.
But
MMA.
it's probably going to fall off and it's going to show my bald spot to everybody. It's going to be so embarrassing.
Wear clips and also you can wear tzitzis, no problem.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about tzitzis.
No, you put see?
The strings over here.
See?
What?
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
I need to wear both of them. They're not going to, they're not going to let that.
Imagine, like...
Also, are you allowed to cause self-harm? Or is that... Is boxing different because it's a sport? Or you're not allowed to because of that? Well, that's like, well, how about this? Flossing your teeth if you bleed is self-harm.
Okay. But that's very different than self-harm as in like really hurting yourself. The possibility that something
I'm
dangerous
not going to get
happen.
hurt though because I'm the best.
Imagine like I
have no boxing experience.
We cannot like get an upper chest. It's our curse.
We cannot grow a chest no matter how hard we freaking try. Well, actually mine I'd say is actually better.
No matter how much soy milk I drink.
Soy milk? Why did you say freaking what? Soy milk? Okay.
It makes your...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It makes your chest bigger?
Yeah, but not in the muscle way.
Oh, and no, I understood what you were saying.
Okay.
But I've spent months on that stupid Smith machine. I'd say my chest is much better than your guys' were.
Maybe because you built it wrong. Maybe you built it wrong.
It came broken. It's uneven on one side. So you have to add more weight to one side of the barbell of the Smith machine because China scammed me. They literally scammed me. And now I have this stupid machine, and I have to add 20 or 30 more pounds onto one side. But guess what?
So you have like a huge...
Listen, man, it's
right
this pec is smaller, and it's the one that's pushing more weight. So no, it works out like that. It's smaller, so I wanted to push more.
But imagine we start boxing and we get like huge because that's the only thing our DNA knows how to do.
Oh, you're saying like this is our chosen sport? Like we wasted our time bodybuilding.
Like people do push-ups doesn't necessarily help, but they start boxing, they get ripped.
Boxing you lose weight.
No, but
you're cutting and you have to get to a certain weight.
They're pretty chiseled though.
But also like the cardio, you want to be lighter.
They're not huge, but they're ripped.
Well, that's different. I could look ripped if I lost 20 pounds of fat and bam, I look ripped. No, you have
to build the muscle.
I have the muscle.
Boxers have a lot of muscle.
It depends.
Maybe not MMA fighters as much.
Heavyweight boxers have a lot of muscle.
No,
the other ones just know how to use their momentum more and aren't actually there aren't as many knockouts in lightweight. Because there's not nearly as much muscle because isn't as much weight.
Anyways, we really should try it because we never know. Maybe we'll unlock it.
I was wondering, like, what if because we have weirdly quick reflexes, and I'm not saying that it's a real thing.
My father, we could be at baseball games. If a baseball's coming, like he'll throw his drink, his peanuts, catch the ball, then like grab it.
You know, like everything falls down and you catch it, like, and
then he'll be like
the tray, catches everything.
He'll come up this just shovels just like everywhere, and like his hair is everywhere, and he'll be like, got it. And
no, he caught a cup of water when it was falling onto the ground, and none of the water left it. Like it was like, imagine like this. It like fell, and he was like that with all the water inside of it. Craziest thing that I ever saw in my entire life. Besides when I knock out some random person, but I still don't even know if we're allowed to box according to Jewish law, which is pretty upsetting.
Well,
because I'm low key a little baby. You know, like, would I actually do it?
You like start crying when they punch you?
And also, can I take that pressure? Because we get so freaking anxious in that situation. Or would we be up there and I'd like just get in some zone that I didn't know existed?
No, but I get locked in even when I'm really nervous before a test. Let's say.
Oh, you're such a nerd, Jew.
I don't have any other.
I got locked in when I would take my law test.
Well, actually, when I went shooting yesterday. Not yesterday, a few days ago.
Oh?
Got my license.
Yes, congratulations. I didn't go because I don't leave the house. Continue.
So, like, I was anxious before. I haven't shot in a long time. So, you know, you're shooting a gun. So I got anxious. But the second I was, like, holding it and locked in, like, I think we get in the zone.
So, basically, we could do professional boxing. That's right. Is what you're saying.
Even with baseball, I'd get freaked out before it. I don't just, like, we get, like, real, like, just anxious before the game.
Okay, that's a good example.
And then so right before you're about to get up there, we're like, I don't know, like, whatever. I really don't want to strike out because I'm supposed to be good. Everyone says, we're good at baseball.
Yeah, right? That was such a, like, pressuring claim when I'm the youngest and haven't even played baseball yet.
So then, when I would actually stand up at the plate, it was, like, gone.
It's
because you're locked in.
Yes.
Go time.
It's called being in the zone.
How many championships you won in camp?
I lost the championship in baseball.
0.
I don't know if you knew that, but we lost the championship in baseball.
Sad.
And I did great. I had a great game.
Well, I won. I don't like to brag too much, but 3 championships.
The three-peat, back to back, 3 times.
I lost my first year, won second year, third year in the upper level division, 4th year in that special camp where like everyone your age.
I know you went to the special camp, yeah. You know, it's actually interesting. We our camps have our own leagues. Like, it's called leagues.
Yeah.
Do like non-Jewish camps do this stuff?
I don't even know how their camps work. Like overnight.
It's true. I got no clue what they're doing. They're probably just on their iPads now.
Yeah, like,
on their iPads.
You know, we don't have any phones or anything, and it's basically all boys. It's all boys camp. It's all boys your age. It's all your friends. So
we have learning. We learn Jewish stuff. Boo, boring.
Everyone's constantly protesting it all day.
Yep.
It's like the teachers don't want to do it, but like they're getting paid like nothing to actually.
It's always the ones from Brooklyn that grew up in that Jewish environment.
It's really serious. It's like it's camp, man. Like we're not gonna learn, and they give you tests, and you can't go on the trip unless you pass, and you're like. What's the point?
How is it even? It's a school, honestly.
But as like a parent, like I paid money for my kids to go on trips. You're not gonna take away the trip because they didn't pass your stupid little test.
They did though. They would take the trip. They would. They steal that money.
I have a feeling they wouldn't do it unless they would call the parent and be like, "Hey, like your kid's not behaving."
And sometimes the parents, like the strict ones, would be pro it.
Yeah,
my kid's not going on no damn trip if fail his summer test. But they would have leagues. They would split the entire camp into like 6 teams, 8 teams.
Well, it depends.
Different divisions. The younger division, each division had their own league, like in soccer, you know. And
one of the camps I went to was like 200, like everyone my age. It's amazing. So your whole community from around the world, everyone your age, We had like 16 teams, so we had 2 leagues.
It was 16
Yeah.
teams, and
So
the,
you had, like-
the coaches are like counselors, right?
We had like
The counselors of the bunks. are
American
usually
League and
coaches.
National League. It was like full on like.
And
NFC,
they gave the team
AFC.
names, cringy Jewish names.
Yeah, like different Jewish
Whatever the
figures,
hell.
like, whatever.
And it was like, honestly, I think that's a very cool thing. And it was like, I wish I did. I would do a.
It's
I would
legit.
coach now. That's
It's
what I'd
legit
do.
intense. And when I say that I won championship of this camp, if I tell people now, like
What draft pick were you? There's a draft.
Yeah.
What pick were you?
I was first pick,
First, not overall.
not first overall.
First rounds or
first
second
round.
rounds. Were you captain or co-captain?
No, first, not co-captain.
Co-captain is first round. No,
No.
captain is first round.
Captain,
And-
usually
and-
co-captain.
no, there's a
but
coach-
technically, first round is after co-captain. Fine, so I was 12th, I think.
No, that's technically. Are you talking about like once we were bar mitzvah? There's like different age. Once you're bar
Yeah, yeah,
mitzvah, there's
I'm
another
talking
one.
about over.
You're talking about then. That's serious. That's like the real draft.
Wait,
no,
what?
the captains get decided on by like the staff, the head counselors. They
Correct.
They who know who's good and
No,
whatever.
it's a favoritism game.
It's also favoritism.
Yeah,
and they see
gosh.
who's the top best kids in every single sport. The leagues aren't just like basketball. It's every single sport, and it's this whole league, and it's this whole whatever. And they do a lottery to see what the championship will be. And the
So then the
forgot.
captain gets chosen, and then the captain chooses a co-captain.
captain gets chosen by the board of
The board.
people, the elitists, and the captain is the one. They're essentially like the general manager. They pick the next people. They pick the first, which is the co-captain, and then the second, which is
No,
what
the
you were.
first round of official draft.
No, it's not. No, the first round. Everyone
No.
call it the first round.
No.
It's technically a co-captain. Literally, it's just like if they're sick, you take over. Other than that's the first.
I was not popular because I was from Ohio, so no one knew who I was. Except for the reason I was 12th was because the co-captain on that team knew me because the year before I won the championship with him, and I was a sleeper pick.
The OG's sleeper pick.
Yeah, it was in the bar mitzvah division,
Yes.
and we won the championship after I got traded to another team because I was so good.
You got traded
Yeah.
mid-season
yeah,
before the deadline.
because our team was too good. Because whatever. It's a
No
whole
way.
drama.
Oh, they had like a good draft. They figured it out.
No, we had a draft, and a kid came in middle of camp, joined our team,
Oh.
and he was the best kid, friend of mine.
Wait, so you went to another team
So they traded me to another team. I was really upset.
and you won with that team?
I beat my old team, and we won the
Damn,
championship.
You're like an impact player on
Yeah.
and off the field.
Like LeBron, baby.
The freaking LeBron carrying
How
people
did
to
it affect
championships.
LeBron's legacy?
It probably does affect him. I sucked. I didn't play in the leagues for the first few years, so by the time we got up to the bar mitzvah division, I was like a 5th rounder or something, and I played fine. Like I played well, and I was a steal, and people said I was a steal.
No, you're probably pretty good.
I was great.
There are kids, New Yorkers, like they like pretend like they're good.
Literally,
They like trash talk and then like just
They're all talk.
chuck
Literally,
the ball like, oh look what I did. It's like
I
yeah,
wish
great.
I played more at sports in general when I was younger, because then I would have been higher than the curve at that age, and it would have been amazing. But instead, I just would speak to the ice cream guy, and I'd eat ice cream and get fat, get freaking fat.
But by the my skill level, it would be so when we as a Jewish team would play non-Jewish teams, I would be pitching and like the guy would crush it. I'd be like that was
Really,
my,
so I feel like maybe in baseball, but I feel like in basketball, the Jews actually keep up when it comes to pick up basketball.
that's true. But
My
point
friends
is,
were talking
when I
about it.
was
They
a
go to
kid,
Random Park and they just smoke the hell out of these people.
me being one of the best in the league
Oh.
in our camp was.
Did you get MVP? Who got MVP? Some random guy got MVP.
Did I get MVP one year?
You did
No.
not get MVP.
No, I did not get MVP.
There's an MVP. Honestly, looking back,
By the way,
I wish let me finish this. I wish I cared more about sports and had more sports knowledge back then, because looking back, that was a hella cool concept that they freaking did.
Yeah, it was
It gets all the kids involved, and all these kids are like follow sports. Like that's the only thing Jews do is follow sports. Well, not as crazy religious ones, and it's an interesting thing that they added.
My point is that it got so intense. These leagues got freaking intense all day. That's everyone be
It'd be in their
trash-talking.
mind. Oh, trash talking. You lose friendships. If your closest friend got on another team and you play each other in the champ, that's exactly what happened to me. My very close friend was on the other team and was coached by and the coach for that team was also my bunk counselor.
Yeah, I always hated that. 'cause you
Right,
get
so
mad at
your
them.
counselor of your bunk in camp is the coach on your rival team. So you like hate the hell out of him. They beat us in the championships on a walk-off home run. It was
Devastating.
It was by some little stupid twerp that couldn't do nothing. Got a lucky ass hit. It just last
It was like the
bottom
second
of the
base.
ninth.
It was like the second
Some
base and like everyone
stupid
missed it.
thing. and he won, and I was in shambles. I like saw the walls cave in. The camera slowly zooming on my face. I collapsed and I cried, man. When I tell you I cried so hard, this wasn't BMD. This was like I was like 9, and it hurt a lot. You kids everything goes into these things. All the kids are crying on a losing team.
So the real
sore losers, sore winners, everything.
The real big league was after the bar mitzvah division. Everyone get to this, like I mentioned before. Everyone got to this big camp.
Right. That's everyone that's one age. It's like when you're 14.
Yeah.
It's when you're going into high school. There's a camp designated for kids that are going into high school.
And it's everyone. So that's like everyone's ready to go.
That's the real stuff.
And everyone's waiting for it. And so that's when I got picked 12th overall.
12th overall.
After
really?
First round.
Wait,
after co-captain.
Okay, so second round, 12th pick of the second round. No, the third round.
Everyone calls it first round.
There's the guy which is the technical.
We already went through this.
There's the
the captain gets chosen.
There's the captain.
He chooses co-captain.
But the captain is not the first overall. It's not the first round. It's the captain.
The co-captain.
He chooses the first round, which is the co-captain.
He chooses co-captain, which is not first round.
Yes, it totally is. There's no co-captain with Joe Burrow.
They called it the first round. Huh? They called it the first round.
Nah, I'll tell you this. When I was there, they weren't calling it that.
I don't think you went to my camp.
It's every kid that was in the second round called it the first round. No, I spoke to kids that went to that camp also, and they said the same thing. We had this whole argument with someone about this.
I got chosen because the guy knew me last year. Anyways, we went on to win, and it's so intense.
You won in every single league. You're like undisputed greatest of all time.
Straight up, my captain's really good, and we were good friends. We're still good friends.
The team chemistry.
But we were,
But have you gotten back-to-back 100 scores at the dentist with
Let me
perfect
finish.
teeth? No, you haven't.
I don't get my dentist score.
I had perfect score. Continue.
Let me continue. It got so intense, and we beat the second best team. It was hockey, and they called it illegitimate because we were supposed to play baseball, and they would have won if they played baseball.
But it's a raffle. It's like a random.
It was raining.
Certain teams are good at certain things, and if the captain picks all of his friends that are from like a certain city, it tends to be that the people from that city are more into hockey. The people from that city are more into soccer.
Canadians
that are more into street hockey and things like that. So if the championship was hockey and you're going against the Canadian team, you're at a massive disadvantage. So they try to find a common denominator, and if it's a best out of 3 type of game where they have 3 different sports and it's best out of 3, then the third one will be like they'll do a raffle and things like that.
Well, we played hockey,
a lottery.
And I was goalie, and these kids were aggressive because championship. And these guys,
crazy.
They were slap shotting. We don't have proper
your hands
equipment.
are like gone after. They're slapping your hands.
There's no equipment. I was goalie with no equipment.
It's street hockey. You have like a protector.
It was like a hard metal ball.
It's like a tennis, whatever that. No, it's a plastic ball, hard plastic, and all you have is like a cover. For
no,
your
I didn't have a cover.
You didn't have anything.
Nothing. I just had knee pads that my cousin gave me. I'm gonna tear my knees up. I'm gonna be on my knees the whole game because it's on floor, and I blocked so many, and the whole camp was rooting against us. Every time these kids were whacking at me, like not the whole league was like whatever. We played like we didn't want to kill each other, but this game, man, they were whacking at me. I killed my hands, killed my face, and every time it hit me.
But did you win?
The other team would be like, yeah, oh.
But did you win?
We won.
A win is a win.
3-1.
No way.
And literally 5 years later, I went to New York.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid who lost against me said, I'm still mad at you. That's how
intense it is. That's how crazy this thing is.
And there were people who were still going around saying best goalie in the league for years after
you had that much clout.
That much clout. But it's
not even that. I had to make social media.
That's how big of a deal it was. People are still mad that they didn't win that year. And the pride of me winning that year, it's a dumb camp league, but it's a dumb camp league, but people care so much about it because that's all we got in the Jewish community.
My team was the worst of both divisions during that year.
Sad.
We were the bottom of both. You know it was bad because I was one of the top players on the team. I'm not gonna put myself. I was pretty good by that point. I was really good at hockey, and there was this Canadian kid that was just crazy. He got like 8 goals. They put me in at goalie. I was playing every position that game, and I remember he hit it, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then I realized I couldn't breathe. I caught it in my neck. I caught the ball in my neck.
That's funny.
It was the coolest block I've ever seen. I couldn't breathe though, but it's pretty epic.
By the next 2 years, we had a older league camp, like kind of high school age, and I was captain. Wait, was I was captain my last year?
Oh, you were the. Oh, you went. I didn't go that far.
Yeah, camp. But we made it to the championship the next 2 years, but lost.
By that point, some of those kids are crazy good at sports.
Then because then you go through puberty, and some kids are really good.
No, some of these kids are crazy talented.
In high school they were like really talented.
No, I'm saying once they go through high school, like full on. Like these guys look like street ballers. Like they're really really good. Like this random Jewish guy like looks like freaking this talented prodigy.
There are certain kids who can hit every shot.
Then they realize they can't go D1, and
there was like one or two people who I felt could have maybe tried to go.
Had the talent,
Tall.
but devoted themselves to Judaism.
That's right.
Yay. Also, every game's like on Shabbos now.
Well, in college, we went through this a while ago.
Football is, yeah. Not basketball is throughout the week. No, that one Jewish guy, Ryan Terrell, he did it. He's in the G League right now. He's the only guy in any of those things that wears a yarmulke. It's pretty epic.
It's pretty cool.
And everyone calls him Larry Bird because he's white and has
Tall.
a big schnoz. If he's watching this, you have a great schnoz.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's definitely possible. Yeah, there's one that's in NCAA and D1. He's like some third string. And in baseball, wasn't there a Jewish kid that got signed early?
There was a few Jewish kids who got signed in the MLB draft, but the problem is that they get signed and either they go back to high school or they go back to college, and they kind of they get like a signing bonus of like a few $100,000, which is great money.
They get like the signing bonus,
but they're not necessarily going to make the MLB.
But they can make $500,000 or a few $100,000.
Dude, it's so hard to make these professional sports, and like, but these parents like yelling at their kids like, "Come on, man!" But it's like the chance that your kid's gonna make it is so small.
Not with that attitude.
That's right.
Not with that attitude. You gotta get your kids in it, man. Now's the time. You have to start now.
I know, like these kids are making MLB at 16. Like, I remember when I was like 20, I was like 22 or something. I was like,
I think the MLB is our biggest chance of all the sports because we're good at baseball.
At 22, I was like, I'm past my prime to even make it. It's like funny. I was like, oh.
Also, you demolished your arm 50 times, both of them, and now they just wobble around and you can't.
Hey, if I get surgery on both of them, then maybe I got a shot. Like
no one comes back the same after surgery.
You always hear that one guy who like becomes a puncher at like 50. Like maybe that'll be me.
The soccer player that goes to NFL to become a kicker.
Yeah.
The kicker is on the Falcons.
No, I think he's a college kid. There's like a older college guy who's like 40. He's like a kicker on a college team.
That I've seen, but I'm talking about there's this guy on the Falcons.
Maybe there is. Maybe it was Falcons.
This guy on the Falcons, and there's also like another kicker that they both they kick like a soccer ball. It's very interesting, but they're very good because they play professional soccer. There's this whole argument about if you ever saw, I don't know if you saw on TikTok, if rugby players. There's this massive argument because rugby is this huge sport that Americans don't know about, but it's much bigger than football.
Yeah.
And there's an argument if football players could play rugby and vice versa, if rugby players could be football. And it's this whole argument of both sides saying, you can never play our sport. It's way too much. Oh, obviously we can go play your sport.
I don't think rugby can play football.
So that's what it was. But because it's so much bigger, people think whatever.
No,
so,
it's a different skill set.
But one of the offensive linemen on the Eagles, what's the sport? A rugby player. Was a professional rugby player.
He made it.
And he went on the Kelsey podcast and they asked him that famous question and he said, "No, they can't. They can't be football players. Football's just better." If
really?
Huh?
They said that?
No, the physicality. It's easier for a football player to train and get physically ready and join rugby and be ready for that versus the other way of rugby going to football.
Because football,
even though it's a different play style,
offensive and defensive linemen, you have to learn how to play those positions. And when it comes to running back, you have to learn. You can't drop, like in rugby, you're able to drop the ball. Like you literally have to learn.
Someone was asking, an annoying like rugby fanboy was like, "How come American football players, don't like lateral it more?"
Yeah,
because they lateral it all the time, but they don't understand the concept of freaking like Ray Lewis checking you or whatever the second you throw that ball in the air.
Have you ever seen Ray Lewis plays from the back in the day?
He causes CTE and has ended people's career.
It's crazy.
By hitting them.
I remember when they used to play like that in the NFL. It was like nasty.
Because we're Bengals fans and he's a Ravens.
Vontez Perfect. Whacking people's heads.
Antonio Brown has not been the same since.
I know, right?
He's CTE full. No, he single-handedly destroyed Antonio Brown's mentality.
He used to twist people's ankles.
He intentionally, right? You ever saw clips of it?
Yeah, when I watch it, I was like, I'm
a
little upset that he's on our team.
And he'd be like, he was crazy.
Like, what the heck?
He cost us the 2015 wild card game against the Steelers.
This year will be the redemption.
Is the year for the Bengals.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because the Bengals is doing that whole series where they go inside the NFL.
Right, and apparently Joe Burrow is a part of the new quarterback series, allegedly. Like Patrick Mahomes was last year on Netflix or whatever.
And it's scripted.
Where they copy you around. It's scripted. Low-key, it's starting to look like it. like that 2021 season.
Finally, we're waiting
We
for
need
the
to,
script.
please. I was thinking about our lost Super Bowl yesterday, and I got depressed and sad.
I was depressed because I saw like a whatever, just like last Super Bowls that people won, and like Bengals were like two games ago. It was
Yeah.
it was like 2 years ago, like and we were there, and then we lost.
You ever
Sad.
an interesting question was like
We would have won with this team right now.
yes.
That's what's upsetting.
The O-line, yeah. Which one was which loss hurt you more? That wild card game in 2015 or the Super Bowl?
2015.
loss? That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
no.
100%. The Super Bowl was unexpected and it was great, and
And we made it to Super Bowl.
And we made it to Super Bowl, and it was so unexpected. It's a new team, but the 2015 wild card. For those that don't know, do we have to go through this whole thing?
Bengals had an incredible team.
An incredible team.
And
It was
then-
our 5th playoff appearance in 5 years in
Yeah,
a row.
yeah.
We lost all the times previously, but that was our best team, and we had a backup quarterback.
And Ben Roethlisberger, his shoulder was hurting.
Because Vontaze Perfect freaking checked him or whatever and caused him
So
to
he
hurt.
couldn't throw it, and all the Bengals had to do was guard underneath, and they still were like busy like guarding Antonio Brown deep, even though Ben couldn't throw the ball, and everyone knew that. It was terrible, and then
happened was-
decided to whack his head.
AJ McCarron,
Gosh.
who's now back on the Bengals practice squad after like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. He
funny.
was in the XFL. AJ McCarron threw like a last minute touchdown or
Correct.
2 minutes left to AJ Green in the end zone. And so and with the field goal,
Look, Dalton broke his thumb,
he broke his thumb in the middle of the season. We were like 8-0 that year.
and I think he would have maybe come back if we would have won that game.
If we won that game. So he threw it last minute. We were up by 1 point, and so Roethlisberger like threw it or whatever.
It was fourth, and was it fourth down or third down?
No, whatever it was, he threw it and it was intercepted by Vontaze Perfect. No, or by or Pac-Man Jones, whoever the hell it was.
Or was it incomplete?
It was intercepted, and there's
No, actually, sorry, we're mixing it up.
no, we're not. You're going later in the game. I'm
No,
going
I'm
earlier.
thinking, was it fumbled?
I'm not. I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay, fine.
We were up by 1.
Yes,
Steelers
you're
had the
right.
ball
Okay, you're going
at
back,
the
yeah.
10-yard line all the way back.
Okay,
There's
you're
a
right,
minute
yeah.
and a half left. They had 2 timeouts.
You're hurting me.
He threw it like a slot in the middle, intercepted by the Bengals. We're nearish. We're in the middle of the field, intercepted. Minute and a half left. You just have to run it twice.
And they ran to the locker room.
Run it twice. Have some. That run it twice, drain their timeouts, get a first down, and
Game over.
And game over. And it was like second down or third down. No, that's not what happened. We had the ball. We handed off to Jeremy Hill, Super Bowl legend for the Patriots.
I can't
Later in life,
I don't
Jeremy
know.
Hill.
Good for him, I guess. Great.
And
By the way, he had great hands.
he was
a
great
bad
that year.
play.
They handed it off to
Just
him,
unfortunate.
and it got strip fumbled by one of the Steelers. He just wanted it more. That's literally that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it got fumbled. It was recovered, but they were still all the way on the other side of the field. They weren't within the field goal range,
Not even
so they
close.
still could have stopped him. He throws it to Antonio Brown in the middle of the field. And it misses, but Vontaze Perfect chucks his
I think it might
entire
have been.
body.
Was it fourth down or was it 3rd and 10 or something?
Whatever. It was it was something like
It was
that.
a terrible throw.
Bad throw. It would have missed. Vontaze Perfect, Bengals legend, aggressive man. Just while he wanted to make sure he didn't catch it. He was also just anger management. He completely head-butted, head full rhino charge into Antonio Brown's freaking head, and he gets he's like on the floor. It was a 15-yard penalty, and then what happens?
I think another penalty.
The ref comes in, and they shove the ref because they were pissed at the call. And it was another 15 yards. And then there's another penalty by Pac-Man Jones. He also did something. Before you know it, they were just from penalties, they went to the complete opposite side of the field. A few seconds left, they hit the field goal. That was more painful than the Super Bowl loss. We never won a playoff game in like 30 years.
I was so excited. I was
until
watching
the playoff run in 2020.
I was watching with my friend, and there was a Steelers fan who also.
Oh, you were watching with your friends? I was with Tom.
There's a Steelers fan who went somewhere else to watch it, and when he came back, he was like sending videos of him like dancing and cheering. And I was like, he actually came over and was like, "Hey man, like I'm sorry." He's actually really nice.
It was the craziest
But it was,
way.
like, depressing. It
It was
depressing.
probably the Bengals just did not want to win that game. They did everything possible
We just
to
felt
not
like-
win that game.
We just felt like there was no chance. If we didn't win that year, there's no chance we're ever winning again for the rest of eternity. And then
Joseph Lee Burrow came and brought us to the
savior.
Super Bowl and then AFC Championship, and now we're pretty much going to win this year.
If we win the Super Bowl, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know how I'd react because I go crazy when we win regular season games, so I don't know how I'm going to react. Maybe I'll cry for a while.
Our father's just going to be like, he'd be like crying for like a week.
I have no. I don't want to give my hopes. Don't give me hope.
I think that it's possible in the next 5 years.
As long as Joe Burrow's on our team, we have the possibility to win the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs are literally going to lose, and we're literally going to be amazing or something.
Do you know why?
I mean, I hope they win.
Kelsey's being nominated for like sexiest man of the year.
Piss off. Oh, Jason Kelsey.
Yeah. So when that happens, it's like, okay, they're not going to win any more Super Bowls. They're just going to be on magazines now. So now it's the Bengals.
The script is for Joe Burrow now. Exactly. They're following him around. This is literally our year. Anyways.
Taylor Swift is a distraction.
I hate that whole thing. Anyways, thank you so much for watching RaBBois. Make sure to download on Spotify and watch all the other videos and smash that like button and subscribe and download on Spotify again. Okay, literally goodbye. Yummy.
Okay.